Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content, and today I'm going to be showing you the very best end-game EL farm. This is going to be a passive method for maxing out the vendor caps, and I'm going to be using this method to actually max out 8 characters vendor caps on the endless stream scenario. And for those of you who have not played the endless stream scenario, you should know that there are actually 10 vendors to be maxing on this scenario instead of the normal 5 every other scenario has had. So with that, we're going to go ahead and run through the entire setup process for getting your own sort of setup like this going on. I'm just going to explain every single thing you need to know, starting with the very first part, which is going to be the memetics. Alrighty, so now that we are actually into the memetics, we're going to go ahead and start with the very first one. The first one I'm going to go ahead and talk about is kind of the main ingredient to all of this. This is like the entire reason why we're going to be setting everything else up in this video. We have the Composite Crystal Transformation Memetic. This memetic is only unlockable on the levels 40, 45, and 50 memetic specializations. What this memetic will actually allow you to do is to take 50 cold ore and 50 hot rock ore and combine them in order to make a trade good that is actually sellable for 12,000 EL a pop. That means you only need 4 of these per vendor to actually be maxing out the vendors. It's going to be taking a total of 40 of these per character for me to actually max out all 8 of my vendor caps that I do have, being a one-man hive. But with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on to this. So another thing I wanted to mention about this memetic is I actually have already been getting like cold and hot rock ore just passively from my wishbox setup, being that I just feed them blueberry sodas. That's another thing I really highly suggest. This method is meant for other people playing like me. I'm not quite sure I'm recommending this for a single player. While you easily could get this entire setup going, 1, it wouldn't need to be as massive as the one we're producing in this video, and 2, I don't know, I mean, silver and gold does pretty good for one account. But back to this, for the wishbox setup, I actually have just been feeding my wishboxes blueberry and orange sodas, and what these actually output is actually all sorts of different things. So I get hot rock ore, I get cold ore, I get literally items that are trade goods as well that I also sell to vendors, and then I also get a ton of electronic parts, rubber, all the different types of materials, and then I also get like 20 batteries every single time I harvest my wishbox setup. So with that, and being that we just mentioned batteries, we're going to get on to the next memetic specialization you're going to actually really want to get unlocked. So this is a very another one core for if you're wanting this to be a fully passive EL farm, is actually going to be the cold ore refinery memetic. Now I'm not 100% sure if that's the exact name. They've switched this name around a couple times, but this is a level 20 to 35 memetic, so anywhere from level 20 to 35 on the memetic slots you can unlock this, and what it will allow you to do is actually build a new facility called the cold ore or cold rock, whatever it is, refining facility, extraction facility. Regardless, all you got to do is put 1 battery into it and it will give you 200 cold rock ore. It maxes out at only 4k cold ore, which means it's only 20 batteries to max out an entire refinery. For my setup, being that I'm going to be doing 8 characters worth of EL caps, what we're actually going to be doing here is building 5 of these, just so that I have, you know, 20k cold hot rock ore easily just for 100 batteries. I get literally hundreds of batteries a day from my wish boxes. I also get hundreds of the materials to make them. I got the acid farm set up, but the acid farm is really needing some EL lately. And the other thing is, I'm not wanting to use Sulfur Chemist as much now that I do have another reason of being to use the sulfur. So with that, now that I've explained to you the cold to hot rock ore refinery, this refinery is how you're going to be able to get your passive cold rock. Let's go ahead and get on into the hot rock now. So for the passive hot rock production, there's actually 2 different memetic specializations you're going to want. One is absolutely mandatory, or you're not going to have passive hot rock. And what that is actually going to be is, the first and absolutely must have is the sulfur to hot rock conversion memetic. This is unlockable from levels 20 to 35, and this will allow you to place sulfur into your refineries, and in return they will output hot rock ore. I do believe it's like 1 hot rock per 10 minutes, so this is one where you're gonna want to have the large refinery memetic as well. I figured you knew where I was coming with this. You probably understood this was like a must-have memetic here, but if you didn't, this is a level 5, 10, or 15 memetic. It's called the large refinery. Now, I do believe it used to be like called the super refinery, but I do not believe it's called that anymore. It should just now be large refinery. Regardless of that, though, having the large refinery and the sulfur to hot rock conversion memetic unlocked, when you build your large refineries, any of your characters actually can go through there and just place in sulfur. It caps out at, I do believe, 4K sulfur. It's either 2K or 4K. Actually, I think it's 2K. Regardless, it caps out at 2K sulfur per actual refinery. And what that'll actually allow you to do is just go through there every single day, fill up the sulfur amount, collect your output. You're going to get thousands and thousands of hot rock. The more refineries you have, the more hot rock you're going to get outputted back. There are also places you can go farm hot rock if you do a setup like this and you're missing like a large amount of one specific crystal. There's plenty of places to actually go farm a lot of hot rock up just really quickly. If you did want to skip out on building some of these refineries, I really like the battery solution. The cold ore refinery setup is so slick. It makes thousands and thousands of cold ore, but for this hot rock setup, while for me it should work out because I should be able to get 40 plus of these large refineries, this is the one that you might actually have to go farm some more hot rock ore on, depending on how well your setup is. Really, it just matters on how many refineries you have. But now that we are actually done covering all of those memetic, alrighty, so I figured I'd go ahead and just hop in game and show you the current setup I have going on. This is the progress I've made on this exact end game EL setup here. So we have a couple refineries up here, and then we're gonna go grab the other refineries. We're also gonna see if we have any batteries. We might throw some more batteries in the cold ore production. I also want to show you just how much cold ore I already have. I have like 18,000 or something that I just definitely do not need. And then over here are the refineries. So I just kind of set these up. I'm pretty sure I filled them with everything I needed. As you can see here, I have just like 80 per each refinery. I mean, it's not the biggest of amounts when you collect unless it's been sitting a while. I've had one sit for like 150. This was put together like this morning. So, you know, it's decent amounts of this stuff right here. I will say once again, you're going to need a lot of refineries when it comes to this hot rock ore system here, because the hot rock ore is going to be your limiting factor. The cold ore is going to be super duper easy to do as long as you have a wish box set up. Now I'm going to go ahead and collect my blueberry setup up here. We're actually not going to do the digbies yet. I might go through and refresh the energy real quickly here, so actually I'll see you once we're actually done refreshing the energy of these digbies. Alrighty, and just like that, they are 100% refreshed. We did accidentally collect one. Once again, if I had a moonlit cat, these actually would never need to be refreshed like the rest of my digbies. We're not going to be collecting digbies once again. We did just go ahead and collect the blueberries there, and we're going to drop all the seeds and everything over to the alt. The alt's loaded on a second device up in the kitchen area. Now, I still have yet to actually get the level 40 perk, like I said earlier, for the chef. Now, I do believe commissions have just hit week 3 today, so we should be able to get to level 45 on all of the alts, or all of my different characters here, and this should actually allow us to be able to hopefully get 2 perk stoves soon, because currently we're only rocking with, I don't even think we have 1 perk right now. I think someone did get the 1 perk, but I actually haven't used it yet. I'm hoping to actually just use like one of the memetic frags for that. So we're going to go ahead and drop this, and we'll go ahead and hand some glass over. I'm not sure on how that character is doing on glass. I'm just going to collect that on that character over here, and I'll handle this, you know, once we're actually done doing the tour of the rest of this. So we're actually going to head now. It's actually just going to be a direct TP there. We're going to head to the first set of refineries. It's over here on this side of the plot. I like to teleport to this side when I go to do the Digby collect, because I only have to go to the mountain area, collect those digbies, come down, I can deposit all that into a chest, and then I can teleport over here and start this side of the digbies, because some of the plots don't actually have digbies. So there's wheat going on here, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'm actually just going to let that stack up just a little bit. I do believe it's a good amount of wheat in there. Now our other refineries are just up here. We've got a few more refineries up here. I do believe I did collect this morning. And as you can see here, we're already, you know, getting near the 1,000 mark. Like I said, I do kind of hate that it's 50 cold ore and 50 hot rock ore, because really, some people were saying the batteries were going to be expensive for this method. The batteries are not expensive at all. The batteries are super easy with List Roxas. The hot rock ore from the refineries, though, I mean, this is definitely going to take some time. You're going to have to let these refineries sit at least for an entire day before you go to collect them, if you're wanting to get a lot of these crystals actually made up. This is decent. I do think this is going to help me with getting my characters maxed out on EL. I'm not 100% sure on how quickly we're going to actually see the full turnaround. I'm wanting to see just a full chest full of these items crafted up. just from this, just sitting extra. That would be very nice. I will go ahead and show you my trade goods chest here in just a second. I have not built out every single refinery that I can yet. I am still working on building more refineries. But for now, this is just kind of how it goes. This is, I do believe, like, you know, a few hours ago I logged in and collected from this. And once again, I should have grabbed some sulfur from the chest and went and refilled this. I am going to go through and refill this when I actually do my Digby collect. I do actually need to do a Digby collect still. I think I did one this morning, once again, and I think I just stored the ores. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do another one. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and head to a supplies bench, and I'm going to go ahead and craft this item here and show you how many we can craft here, and then we'll see my trade goods, and we'll go ahead and get out of here. This is the setup. What do you think? Is this the best in-game EL passive farm setup you can think of? Or is there better ones? You let me know down below. This one is the most in-depth for sure, though. This one has so much complexity to it, but I'm going to see you in just a second. So another thing I realized is I don't think I actually showed this. So as you can see here, withdrawal, and then I don't have any batteries currently on the inventory, but I can go through here, and I think I had like enough for 1,000 each. I just loaded in a set amount of batteries, and it turns out I think it was 5 over on all of them. So as you can see, there's 5,000 more cold ore. Now I already have a ton of this stored up at the main base, but yeah, I'll see you there. Alrighty, and we're pretty much back at the main base here. I really like how many plots I fit in this like one little base area by just building on the corners of the plots. It really does make like a main base area feeling, and then over there's the Digby side. But what we're actually going to do here now is just see how many more of these we're going to be able to craft today. 31 more, I mean, that's almost an entire character worth a day, it seems. Once I get all the refineries up, I'm really thinking it should be easy to craft 40 of these a day at least. Hopefully more. Once again, the hot rock ore is the limiting factor, but I don't have all my refineries built, and I haven't been making sure they're fed all day. Also, I just got the refineries built up literally yesterday, and we're already making 31 more. And I do believe after the first test harvest from yesterday, we made like 38 on its own. Anyway, and like I said, I have tons of the cold ore. I don't even have to worry about feeding batteries for more cold ore. I can completely go use those batteries, you know, bring them to someone who has the Stardust refinery set up or something like that, go get myself some source out of those batteries. I don't even have to go make cold hot rock ore there. But we're going to go ahead and go to my trade goods chest here to give you a little bit more of a glimpse of how things are going for me. As you can see here, yeah, we got like 57 of those things. 5 of these are also worth 12k, and then I think it's like 8 and 4k or something like that for the silver ingots and the gold. Maybe one's like 10k and one's 8k or 12k. Regardless, I don't really worry about these too much. This is literally just extra stuff my wish box has gotten that I haven't actually used on a vendor cap yet. Speaking of which, I actually need to go through and finish all the vendor unlocks as well. I think I've gotten them all done on my main and a couple other characters, but I have not gotten all the vendor caps unlocks done either. So we might be streaming today later. But for now, I do believe this is the end of the video, guys. What do you think of it? Do you think this is a good method for getting your EL caps done? I do. I think this should handle 8 characters perfectly fine. I know it's probably not for everyone. If you're just a single character player, you probably can just go get silver and gold ore pretty easily, or, you know, there's other things to do. I guess you could even grow some stuff. But for me as a one-man hive, this just gives me a really nice objective to be following. And it's really easy to just keep running. All I have to do is just keep the refineries filled up with sulfur ore, and then, you know, I go throw some batteries in the cold ore thing when we actually get low on cold ore, whenever that happens. Because like I said, let's go see how many cold ores we still have left on this before we're actually ever going to have to throw any more batteries in. We have quite a bit. I do believe it's enough for like everything we need. Yeah, 22,000, okay? And we only need like 16,000. So we are well above the mark for an entire week worth of every single character's composite crystals worth. We just got to get our hot rock ore up, which is just going to require building more refineries. Once again, we're going to have to build them on our character that actually has the large refinery and the silver to hot rock conversion. But I am out. See us. Keep it beast mode.